Brian Braydon Trindall, he was outstanding.
Very, very good, wasn't he?
Oh, very good. I think that's the best game he's ever had, isn't it?
Yeah, it'd be up there. He was involved with everything. I just was very disappointed in the Cowboys. It was a semi-final, and Nicho and Tricky were doing the kicking, and they had so much time. No one pressured them.
Yeah.
Those first 3 tries were off kicks,
Yep.
Including Braydon Trindall's one, which I don't think it was a penalty try.
Oh, it definitely wasn't a penalty try, but when you hear from Todd Payten, I kind of feel like he was happy for that. Like, it's a big conundrum that coaches have.
Yeah, whether to give away 6 or...
Well, he was off to the bin, or do you want to just take the 6? And it sounded like he was happy to take the 6.
I've got some audio.
I didn't like it, to be fair, but can't argue with it. I'd much prefer that to happen than having someone in the sin bin, to be fair. Game's too quick. And these games are, quicker than average season games, so would have put us under more stress and caught up with us at the back end of the game. So just cop it on the chin.
Just Fletch on that, right? I hadn't realised what he just said until he'd said it, which was the average deficit, for those wondering, sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't, but the average deficit is 4 points when you have a man in the bin.
Right.
That's the punishment, average punishment.
For those 10 minutes, you're saying?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, on average, the team who's got the player in the bin, on average, it costs them 4 points deficit.
Yep.
But then what Todd Payten spoke about was your interchange and how much it hurts you at the back end.
Yeah, right.
So I suppose later in the game you'd prefer them to cop the 10 in the bin because it doesn't hurt you so much. But early in the game, which had happened.
Yeah, it'll catch up with you.
It sounds like he was happy with the fact that the trial was given.
Yeah, no, it's fair enough. I just, when he said there, these games are faster, Ashley Klein was a referee and he was letting the game flow.
They do.
But why don't they do that during the season? Why do they have to go on these sort of crusades where, righto, this week we're just going to keep everyone in check?
I don't think they go on the crusades. I think that we've never, ever had a referee so pumped up in our lifetime in the history of the game than we did last year grand final with Adam G and in previous times with State of Origins. Where people love it flowing, right?
And this game flowed on Friday night. I thought it was brilliant. But
yeah, that's right. Because you've got to think about this. Like, as the players want to make a grand final, Ashley Klein and Grant Atkins also want to make a grand final. So they're kind of like, do I blow a penalty here?
But why don't you referee like that during the previous 27 weeks?
Because during the 27 weeks, there's no intense microscope from the public. They're not as...
Right, because there's only the 2 games on.
So you're more likely to just pull weight with what the bosses want you to do, right? But when it comes to these games, they know that the fans love a free-flowing game.
Yeah.
And they want to make a grand final. Klein wants to make the grand final. Atkins wants to make the grand final. And you know what? It doesn't really matter, in my opinion, who's been the best referee all year between those two. It's going to come down to who referees the best in this one game.
Well, if I'm either of these 4 teams playing this weekend, just get into the ruck, win the ruck, hold them down. Because no one is penalising at the ruck. We've gone through all this drama throughout the year. Neither of these teams did it. I don't think the Cowboys did it, and I certainly don't think Manly did it.
Yeah, but Brian, let me tell you this. You can't tell me of the 4 coaches left.
Yeah, I know.
Cleary, no, all 4. Cleary, Bellamy, Robbo, Fitzy, who's been with Robbo the whole time. All 4 of them know that. It's going to be shooting off the line. It's going to be holding it down, but the fans won't give a rat's. They won't give a rat's. They want free-flowing game. It is going to be do as you please, lads.
Yeah.
Because all 4 coaches, those 4 coaches, there's no real green coaches. Yes, Fitzy may be considered green, but not really because he's been in the furnace with Robbo. These 4 coaches know what you need to do to win these games.
Oh.
Agreement?
Agree, yeah.
Agreement.
Valentine
Holmes, he was good, Val. But reports he played 8 minutes with a suspected broken leg. Nicho Hynes, 5 from 5 with a boot, which is great. And Cam McGuinness, here's what he had to say about the under siege, which I think is a little bit unfair. Nicho Hynes.
We love each other. And when Nicho steps up like he did and just owns everything and just tells us, don't worry about it, boys, I'm going after it. Like, you love that, eh? That's a warrior, and you want to play with guys like that. So yeah, we love what he did this week.
I'm going to say something controversial here. Do you think Cam McGuinness has got scurvy?
What's scurvy?
That's where you're not eating enough fruit and veg and your skin becomes paper thin.
Oh, is that why he keeps getting split?
I think so.
Really?
I think Cam's got to go out and get some fruit and veg into him. Remember the old convicts when they were coming out here?
He should get a sponsorship.
From who?
Hello Fresh or one of those sort of. I like it.
Scurvy Mortimer. Well, he after every game, he must have really thin skin.
But he also does engage in a fair bit of brutality.
Does, definitely. Puts his head down.
Yeah.
Might be leprosy.
Yeah.
Do you think leprosy's still around? Dr. Mark, if you're out there, and the other Dr. Mark. Oh, you don't know. We've got another Dr. Mark.
No way.
Neurosurgeon.
Have we got to the power of 2?
We've got Dr. Mark by the power of 2. Can someone tell me if leprosy is still with us?
I don't know that. I haven't heard that for a long time. Now, the Cowboys this year, what was the expectation? Todd Payten on costly moments of the Cowboys clash against the Sharkies.
I just thought our good ball attack put too much pressure on our D. I think 4 sets in that first half, come up with errors. A couple unforced, a couple forced. And not calm enough in those moments. Probably 2 moments that really hurt us and don't deserve to win these tight matches is the try off the kick-off set. The kick chase there, we don't get down far enough and they put a contested kick in. And then, the try just before half-time, blows it out to 24-0. So, showed a bit of fight and spirit in that second half. A couple of options, if they were a little different, might have been a different story, but in the end, the way we started in that first half was too costly.
Yeah, so he was very critical of mostly the try after the penalty try.
Yes.
He's very cranky about the fact that, yes, they scored straight after it, but that was an attacking kick. It wasn't a downtown kick.
No.
They had to put the ball up, contest, scored straight away.
There was no pressure on the kickers, on the Cronulla Sharks.
None.
No one running from marker.
None.
Where you watch the Roosters, they were the following day, they were into Daly Cherry Evans. Rob, I'm with you. Todd Payten, when he does his press conference, is way too ASMR in press conference. Give him the creeps. It's the... It's the talking close. Yeah, talking close in the breathing.
What does ASMR mean?
Oh, it's that sound. I don't know what the acronym stands for.
It stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response. It basically gives you that tingly feeling.
So when you talk real close into the microphone, it sounds like you're getting a hostage video, like a ransom video.
Okay, let's go to Evan, by the way. And by the way, as we go to Evan, if there's a Dalium, why do we not have Dalium Defender of the Year? We're not talking about top tackle counts. Dalium Defender of the Year, it has to be Tom Dearden. The amount of try savers that bloke's come up with,
Mickey.
He has to be the Dalium Defender of the Year. Let's go to Evan.
Spot in the grand final.
That's exactly what happened. Well called, Matty Thompson. The Roosters in the Battle of the Birds sail past the Manly side, and a big call before the match. And, of course, his teammates waxing lyrically. Victor Radley, as Trent Robinson said, only he thought at the start of the week that he would play the game. And as a result, they've got so much talent in the forwards. Who do you drop? In the end, Nafahu White's been so good. He didn't go Nafahu White. He went Siwa Wong. Was that Wong or White, Brian?
Very, very good. Very good. Now, Victor was good, but it was the big man. It was JWH coming back into that side.
That was very, you know who would have enjoyed that?
Yeah.
The Rabbi.
Oh, yeah, Rabbi.
You probably should have saved it for
Rabbi would love
Teamless
that.
Tuesdays tomorrow.
Yeah.
No, I thought Jared was enormous. Enormous. He's putting the fear of God into Manly, wasn't he?
I love with 4 minutes to go. He was fine. Jared was fine. And the coach has sort of gone, yeah, let's not risk these 4 minutes. Let's get him off.
No.
Let's get him off. He didn't put Victor back on. Victor did his job, scored a try. His first couple of carries, Brian, he must have a crook left shoulder.
Yep.
Because he was sort of leading with his right. And
it's crook. It's fractured.
Yeah.
He's got a fractured blade. I don't know how his needle's at. But, he's one tough hombre, as they like to say. No, they were just too good for him. Worrying signs for Manly is Victor's first try.
Yeah.
Underneath the post.
Off
Teddy, but you're in a semi-final.
Yeah.
You can't be letting that go.
No. The top four are different gravy to the bottom four. They are, and maybe we could be wrong. Maybe the top two are different gravy to the 3 and 4.
Well,
we don't know.
Not according to you.
Not according to me. I'm certain that one of the big guns will not be there. That's my crow.
Which one, Crower?
I will reveal later in the week.
When? No, because you're only working 2 days.
Well, later in the week's tomorrow.
Okay.
Later in the week is tomorrow.
What is it like only working? Do you feel like guilty taking a paycheck when you just only work 2 days a week?
Mate, well, you know all about that. You know all about that. James Tedesco had this to say. I tell you what, the man he's talking about shouldn't feel guilty about taking a paycheck, and that's Victor Radley.
Yeah, he's pretty tough. Just ask him. He'll tell you how tough he is. But no, he was pretty unbelievable. I think with that injury, he probably should be out another few weeks. But he put the team first. He wanted to get out there and do anything he could to help us get the win, and he did that. He was awesome to start the game. So he'll be pretty sore tomorrow, but he's done a good job for us for sure.
There you go.
Yeah.
Tell you who else was good, and he's been a bit quiet. Joey Manu.
Oh, Joey Manu.
He got some ball this time, and I know he was searching. He was getting off the right edge there and going into the middle looking for the ball. If the Chooks are to upset Melbourne, he's got to touch the ball more.
100%. Mate, they couldn't tackle him.
No.
They, pretty much every time he engaged the line, I reckon he passed the ball more than he played the ball. There you go.
Yeah, they couldn't get him down, could they?
They couldn't get him down. They couldn't get him down. I will say this. Last time the Melbourne Storm took on the Roosters,
yes,
they did not. The 2 times this year, they have not met Swali'i and Manu in the centres.
Okay.
One game Jennings was there.
Yep.
One game Satili Tupanil was there.
Oh, so now I know who
No,
you're
not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Yes, yeah.
No.
What happened to your Shark supporters not going to the
I love the
game?
Sharkies. I love the Sharkies.
I don't think you do.
I do.
I
do. I know how to get the Panthers too, by the way. We shared it with Kevy. Remember that little story I told you?
Yeah. But that didn't. No one's been able to do it.
Well, Kevy didn't do it. Well, they're not playing finals.
What
anyway,
about? Yeah. Anywho.
1300 11170. What about the first 20 seconds of the game that took 10 minutes?
That I've never seen anything like that. I was hoping for 3 in a row.
I kind of was morbidly too. Tolu Kola, Jake Trebojevic, 20 seconds into the game. It was phenomenal. I've got to say this. Hamoli Olakawatu.
Big game.
Big series. Big year.
Yep.
Has he made his intentions clear for postseason? Is he playing for Tonga, or is he? Because he's got to be the Australian team. If he wants to play for Australia, he has to be in the side. He's a gun.
I don't know who he's put his allegiance to. Has he gone to? Yeah, he's putting it towards Tonga. That's what we're getting from Gibbo.
Gibbo's saying Tonga. Well, that's good for the game. That's very good for the game. Vossi this morning was talking about the fact that for the very first time in history, we could possibly have, may not be the case, we could possibly have the 2 State of Origin captains, both healthy, miss the Australian team. Daly Cherry Evans and for the Blues, Jake Trebojevic. We've never in the history of the game seen 2 healthy State of Origin captains both miss.
No.
Could that happen or not?
I could think one might not make it.
But could they both miss?
No, both. One will be in the squad. In fact, both will be in the squad.
You reckon? It's not like a touring squad.
I'm not sort of crow tourist. I've got to say crow me. You can't just willy-nilly crows.
Robbo on the Roosters' physicality. Here's what he had to say, the coach. Looking for his 4th grand final.
We trained pretty hard this week, which you don't usually do in semi-finals. And the boys handled it really well. And then, obviously, I mean, Jared and Victor coming back in set a tone as well about the way they play the game. But I thought a lot of guys were really hard to tackle tonight in the way they carried and also tackled well. So, it's a slight shift in mindset there.
What'd you read of that?
Well, on the back page of the paper, Jared apparently returned and just said, listen, when we're going to train, we're going to do it properly. No holds barred. It was a training session that primed the Roosters for their semi-final against Manly.
Wow.
They're going to have to do that against Melbourne.
Well, the mail I got last year, in the grand final week, this is the intensity. Like, people think, you're resting up before a grand final. Apparently, Penrith, who took on their reserve grade side as an example, Moses Leota and James Fisher-Harris absolutely knocked. They were playing in that second field at Penrith, and they reckon they pushed and pumped the opposing fullback, who might have been Dane Laurie or whoever it was. They knocked him into the Warragamba Dam. They just went 100 miles an hour, days out from the grand final. It's different to what, back in our day, Brian, you put us all in cotton wool and there's a grand final. They don't do that. They don't fear injury.
Well, not all teams. Some teams do.
Yeah, some teams do.
You can tell by the way they defend.
Yeah.
The grand final breakfast, that's gone as well. That was always, I used to love the grand final breakfast.
It's gone.
Cancel culture.
Who
got rid of that?
What's your 3-2-1? 1, 2, 3 for Daliums. How do you see it, Finn?
Jerome Hughes.
You think he beats Teddy?
Yeah. Teddy comes second.
Who's the third wheel? Yo?
I'm going to say, no, you know, I think's had a really good season. Harry Grant. I'm going to say Harry.
Okay.
I know he missed a little bit of footy there, but he's come back. His last month, 6 weeks, has been really good. I wouldn't be surprised if Harry gets the cash.
What about the footy show? Would you say Sam Walker's a big guy?
No.
Is he one of the smallest players in the comp?
I would say yes.
So the footy show on Sunday, Sam Walker's there. He's got his brace. And he's standing there with Freddie. They're the same height. Sam Walker. Freddie was a big player, right?
Yeah.
Sam Walker and Brad Fittler are the same height.
Yeah, Freddie's got scurvy. He's shrinking.
Oh, no.
Scurvy. I mean, you must have been knocking around Cam McInnes.
Mate, I couldn't believe it. And have you seen Nathan? Yeah, obviously have. Nathan Cleary's massive, isn't he? In person.
I'll tell you who I was surprised how big he is, Nicho. Nicho's a big man.
Yeah, they're massive.
But are we shrinking? I think we are.
So you reckon it's more about Freddie coming back than...
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Freddie's right into his healthy eating. This is, you know, when we had Fat Freddie.
Yeah.
Until he's 110 kilos.
110?
110 when he came back from the Kangaroo Tour.
Wow.
1990. Fat little fella.
Fat big fella. Brian, before we go to the break, how would you appraise both the exiting teams? Cowboys and Manly, their season.
Cowboys disappointing.
Disappointing? Yep.
With the quality players they've got, the 6 Origin players, I just feel that they sort of, and Todd Payton came out and said it. He said we sort of, in the tough moments, we just switch off. So I would say disappointing.
More so than Manly?
Yeah, more so for Manly.
Yep.
Don't you agree? Because they've got the advantage of playing up there.
Yep.
Teams have got to fly all the way there. They've got the advantage of the heat.
Yep.
Albeit when they come back down here, that's a hard one for them. But I just feel they should be undefeated at home.
A big turning point. And I love what he was doing. You know, when Drinky goes for that, they're down by 12, repeat set. Drinky goes, punches it. It was a great play because he spotted the gap, hammered it low to go into touch, but it goes out in the full by a bees. Sharks take the 2, back to 14.
Game over.
Siriaco Mesha off. There you go. Plenty more still to come on the run home with Joel and Fletch. We're past the halfway mark. Have you say 0457 736 736.